What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, newly crowned, undefeated, unified, lightweight world champion, Australian star boxer, George Kambosos Jr., 20 wins, no losses, no draws, 10 wins by way of knockout. He is 28 years of age, 5'9", with a 70-inch arm reach. With that said, he defeated and shocked the world when he defeated former unified lightweight world champion superstar boxer TEOFIMO Lopez November 27th in New York at Madison Square Garden, the most famous arena in the world. He won a split decision victory over TEOFIMO Lopez. He dropped TEOFIMO Lopez shockingly in the first round. He controlled the pace of the fight. He controlled the fight itself. He faced adversity. He was knocked down in the 10th round, and then he got up. He controlled the 11th and 12th round and got a split decision victory. The fact that it was split decision because he was dropped in the 10th round and TEOFIMO Lopez was the champion. So with that said, he got the victory. Now, another champion in the division, the only other champion in the division, undefeated WBC lightweight world champion superstar boxer DEVIN the Dream Haney, 27 wins, no losses, no draws, 15 wins by way of knockout. He's 23 years of age, 5'8", with a 72-inch arm reach. He was in action December 4th, the very following Saturday, against former IBF super featherweight Mexican superstar boxer Joseph Jojo Diaz. And DEVIN Haney put on a dazzling performance, outclassed Joseph Diaz, and won a unanimous decision while George Kambosos Jr. was in attendance. And George Kambosos Jr., he admitted that DEVIN Haney was very exciting. He admitted that he was going to go witness another fighter, undefeated 3-division world champion, superstar boxer Gervonta Tank Davis, who is 27 years of age. Gervonta Tank Davis is 26 wins, no losses, no draws, 24 wins by way of knockout, 5'5" with a 67-inch arm reach. He was taking on Mexican star boxer Isaac Pitbull Cruz the following Sunday. Okay, so DEVIN Haney fought December 4th. Isaac Cruz, Gervonta Tank Davis fought December 5th. In Los Angeles, California at the Staples Center. With that said, George Kambosos, he attended both fights. And now, George Kambosos Jr., he stated that, the fight he wanted was DEVIN the Dream Haney for undisputed because he knew he wasn't undisputed, okay? He knew he had to go through DEVIN Haney to be undisputed. And so with that said, another fighter was in a fight the following Saturday after Gervonta Tank Davis, DEVIN Haney. That was two-time Olympic gold medalist, 3-division world champion, former unified lightweight world champion, superstar Ukrainian boxer Vasyl High-Tech Lomachenko, as he took on former IBF lightweight world champion Richard Commey. And he got a unanimous decision victory over Richard Commey. But with that said, George Kambosos Jr., he stated that he wanted to create history. It's not about just money. Obviously, they fight for a prize. It's prize fighting. But it's not just about money. It's about legacy and fighting for history. And he knows he's unified. He's not undisputed. And he stated that he knew he had to go through DEVIN Haney to be undisputed. And he stated that he wanted to fight the most exciting fighter while getting paid and fighting to be undisputed for legacy, right? And so with that said, he admitted that DEVIN Haney was the most exciting fighter out of all 3 weekends, not including himself and TEOFIMO Lopez, right? And so he stated that he wanted the fight to take place in his backyard, down under, as he called it, in Australia, 8,000 plus miles across the seas. And DEVIN Haney, he said he'll oblige George Kambosos Jr. Well, George Kambosos Jr., he started to change his tune. He started to say he had to see what Vasyl Lomachenko was doing. He liked the route that Vasyl Lomachenko was going. He liked the plan of Vasyl Lomachenko. And so he stated that he had to see what Vasyl Lomachenko was going to do. Well, now he said when it comes to DEVIN Haney, it's about how he gets paid. But what's interesting is something surfaced. After DEVIN Haney and TEOFIMO Lopez came face to face, because they went viral. They went viral a few times. And the fight to be made was TEOFIMO Lopez versus DEVIN Haney for official undisputed. And that's the fight everybody was calling for. Because TEOFIMO Lopez, so see, he already beat Vasyl Lomachenko for the unified title. Vasyl Lomachenko, he already beat Richard Commey for his IBF title. And keep in mind, Lomachenko's 2 comeback fights after losing a unanimous decision a one-sided decision, in my opinion. He lost the first 7 rounds to Teofimo Lopez. He won 8, 9, 10, and 11. But Teofimo Lopez clearly won the 12th round and seemed to be on the verge of stopping Lomachenko in that 12th round, badly hurting him a few times. He clearly won the fight, unanimous decision. It wasn't even close. Now, Lomachenko's 2 comeback fights after that was against Nakatani, a guy Teofimo Lopez he already beat. And then his second comeback fight was against Richard Coleman, a guy that Teofimo Lopez brutally knocked out. So the fight that everybody wanted to see at that point was Teofimo Lopez versus Devin Haney for official undisputed, right? And so they came face to face at another fight, and they went viral, and they verbally agreed to fight each other after Teofimo Lopez settled his IBF mandatory challenge in George Kambosos Jr. Well, we know that didn't happen. So what's interesting is George Kambosos Jr., prior to his fight with Teofimo Lopez, reached out to Devin Haney, told Devin Haney he was going to give him the opportunity to fight, said that he was committed to fighting Devin Haney. And not only that, he called out Teofimo Lopez for comments Teofimo Lopez made that were not taken in high regard into the black community. When Teofimo Lopez, he used the N-word a few times. And George Kambosos Jr., he responded to that. But not only did he respond to that, but he committed verbally to a fight with Devin Haney. Here's what George Kambosos had to say. He says, quote, "Say no to those words." Paraphrasing. Then he asks Devin Haney, "This kid, Teofimo Lopez, he will never fight you. If he does sign, he'll stall 6 times over." He stated, "But you don't have to worry. After I beat Teofimo Lopez, I'll give you an opportunity at the titles. I'm going to make Teofimo Lopez irrelevant and take all the belts from him. Just make sure you bring your shiny WBC title to the table, and I'll bring my unified titles to the table. Now, unless you have so much disdain towards Teofimo Lopez, you want to give him another L after I give him an L, then I'll go fight Vasyl Lomachenko in the meantime, and then we'll come back together." End quote. So George Kambosos Jr. is saying that the fight he wants is himself versus Teofimo Lopez. And he's admitting that he's not undisputed. He's unified. But now a twist came about. As WBC President Mauricio Suleiman, World Boxing Council President Mauricio Suleiman, he decided to take and do an interview in which he stated that Teofimo Lopez was undisputed. And now George Kambosos Jr. beating Teofimo Lopez, well, that made him now undisputed. Okay? And so after he states that he's undisputed, well, George Kambosos Jr., he decides to change his stance all the way around. Now, George Kambosos Jr., he decides to take the route of teetering on that same route he accused of Teofimo Lopez of taking, and states that Devin Haney needs to sell his jewelry in order to put up the necessary money to make the fight. Now, keep in mind, he said it wasn't about money. It was about legacy, and it was about fighting at the Down Under back home in Australia. Obviously, he's a prize fighter, so he wants to get paid, but it wasn't about the money. Now, and on top of that, keep in mind, he told Lomachenko in the boxing world that he loves the route that Lomachenko is going. He loves the plan that Lomachenko has. So he's interested in a Lomachenko fight. But he never said that it had anything to do with big money when it came to Vasyl Lomachenko. But when it comes to Devin Haney, he's saying that Devin Haney needs to put up the biggest amount of money as possible. He needs to sell his jewelry to do so. This is what George Kambosos Jr. is stating. And now he's changed his tune completely. And now George Kambosos Jr. is stating that he's undisputed. Now he's changing his status on all his social media. Okay? Let's just look at George Kambosos Jr. Now look at his social media. Now keep in mind, he admitted that He was not undisputed. He was unified in that. Devin Haney needs to bring his shiny WBC belt to the table to make this fight so they can fight for undisputed. But now you look at George Kambosos Jr. and his social media, and there you have it. Undisputed lightweight world champion. Suddenly, he's undisputed after, you see, he stated that he wasn't undisputed. Okay, so prior to the Teofimo Lopez fight, George Kambosos Jr., he admitted, well, he wasn't undisputed. And here goes the proof. There you see it. He tells Devin Haney to make sure. There you see the proof. Make sure you bring your shiny WBC title to the table. And I'll make sure I bring mine. So there you see the proof that George Kambosos Jr., he admitted that he was indeed not undisputed. And he went at Teofimo Lopez for comments Teofimo Lopez made when Teofimo Lopez used the N-word. Well, now he is singling out Devin Haney and saying Devin Haney needs to sell his jewelry to make sure he makes the fight. Did he tell Vasyl Lomachenko in order to make the fight he would have to sell his jewelry? When you know Devin Haney, we all know Devin Haney is the second highest paid fighter from junior welterweight on down, only behind Gervonta Tank Davis, who's viewed as the cash cow and gets paid the most from junior welterweight on down. And you know that you got your highest payday with Matchroom CEO and promoter Eddie Hearn, who works with Devin Haney, DHP, Devin Haney Promotions, father, trainer, and manager Bill Haney to make the fights. And you got your biggest payday on the zone with Eddie Hearn, Matchroom. And you know that they're willing to put up the big money. So why would he tell Devin Haney to sell his jewelry? Amazing, right? The confidence wavers once, they're on deck. It sounds good when you're waiting to get on deck. But once you're actually on deck and you're staring down that pitcher and he's getting ready to throw a fastball or a curveball and you know the world is watching, it's a completely different focus. It's a completely different mindset. And suddenly George Kambosos Jr. has switched his mindset. So now George Kambosos Jr., he has decided to switch his mindset now to Devin Haney needs to hurry up and make the fight because there's a lot of fighters waiting in line. Amazing. So let's see how this unfolds. Looks like we could possibly get Devin Haney versus George Kambosos Jr. in April. Hopefully it comes to fruition. That's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Hi, my name is Heather the Heat Hardy, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.